After the grueling trials, the qualifiers are ushered into a dimly lit hall where they meet the mastermind behind the operation, Mr. Pio. He stands tall, exuding wealth and authority, a sly grin on his face. "Congratulations," he says, his voice smooth as silk. "You've earned the privilege of serving as my bodyguards. Tonight's banquet will be unforgettable." With a dismissive wave, he hands the floor to his assistant, Sue. Sue, sharp and professional, steps forward. In addition to the base payment of 3 million credits, there will be performance-based incentives. Wang's heart skips a beat. 3 million. His agent, Mayakin, had promised only 50,000. He interrupts, voice tight. 3 million? You're serious? The advance was wired to your agent, Mayakin, last week. Wang's stomach churns. Scammed. Hard. But there's no time to dwell. Sue continues, explaining that the banquet begins in 6 hours, and they'll be briefed en route. In the sleek transport to state age on Earth, a woman named Jasmine hands Wang and another bodyguard, Rico, a folder stamped confidential. "The Rudder banquet involves 7 missions," she says, her tone clipped. "One is an auction. Mr. Pio wants this." She holds up a photo of an ancient, intricately carved mask. "Your job is to ensure he gets it, no matter the cost." Wang flips through the folder, his eyes catching on a grainy image labeled Obsidian Essence. His pulse quickens. Before the system in his head went silent, after he nearly destroyed the cube, it had whispered one last instruction. Acquire something with obsidian in its name. Could this be it? If so, it might reboot the system. He clutches the folder tighter, ignoring a sudden, splitting headache. Jasmine notices his wince. "You okay?" "Fine," Wang mutters, burying his nose back in the folder. Mayakin's betrayal stings, but if the obsidian essence is the key to reactivating the system, this job might be worth the risk. After the banquet, he's hunting down Mayakin and Lu, who betrayed Yang. At the banquet hall, opulence drips from every surface. Crystal chandeliers, gilded walls, and guests sipping neon-hued drinks. The bodyguards are on edge, sensing the night's true purpose. Suddenly, a trapdoor yawns open in the floor, revealing a monstrous bioengineered alligator, its scales glinting under the lights. The crowd gasps, then relaxes as the announcer, a wiry man with a manic grin, assures them the pit is sealed with bulletproof glass. Perfectly safe for the guests. He adds with a chuckle, "But for our brave bodyguards." He introduces Warrior's Bell, a sadistic game. Each bodyguard must enter the pit alone, steal the bell from the alligator's neck, and escape. The prize? 2 massive stacks of gold. The catch? You leave with the bell or you don't leave at all. The announcer says, his voice dripping with glee. Wang's blood runs cold. This isn't a bodyguard gig. It's a death spectacle for the elite's amusement. The other bodyguards, lured by the promise of wealth, seem undeterred. The first, a burly man named Tor, grabs a spear and shield, ignoring stealth for a frontal assault. He charges, screaming, only to be crushed by the alligator's jaws in seconds. The crowd roars. A guest named Du claps wildly, while Pio sighs, disappointed by the lack of a fight. The announcer reveals the alligator's secret. It's a Goose Company creation, bioengineered with 50% more power than a natural beast. A real monster, he says, upping the prize pool by 30% to entice more volunteers. Hal, a wiry bodyguard, steps up, confident he can outmaneuver the beast. Armed with polearms for ranged attacks, he enters the pit, sticking to the walls and landing precise strikes. The crowd holds its breath until the alligator's tail lashes out, painting the walls with Hal's blood. The announcer cackles, raising the prize pool again. Wang, still reeling from the contract's fine print, volunteer or be randomly selected, catches sight of a man on a balcony, his gaze piercing. Another bodyguard, Kale, whispers, "Don't stare. That's a Rudder committee member." He enforces order. Cross him and you're done. As the crowd grows restless, Pio makes an offer. Double the prize pool for any of his bodyguards who slays the beast. The promise of freedom from debt ignites the group. Modi, a bodyguard for a guest named Sam, volunteers, only to be challenged by Gold Poison, a gaunt figure with a predatory smirk. The announcer declares a last man standing event. Modi and Gold must fight to the death for the chance to face the alligator. Wang, clueless about the contract's details, is stunned. Kale explains, 2 volunteers, 1 fight. Winner takes the pit. Sam, visibly torn, promises Modi a raise, promotion, and vacation if he survives. But as Modi turns to thank him, Gold strikes, biting Modi's neck and draining his blood. The crowd gasps. Kale whispers, Gold's ability. He absorbs strength from blood, but it leaves him vulnerable to light and cold afterward. Gold, now brimming with power, enters the pit weaponless. Wouldn't be fair to the beast, he sneers. The alligator charges, but Gold dodges, lands on its head, and with a single kiss-like gesture, severs its head. The crowd erupts. Gold hands the bell to the announcer, declining immediate payment. Deliver it, he says, sensing a trap. Do. Thrilled, teases the guests. Think that was impressive? Wait for the next beast. As a new creature emerges, faster than a supercar, stronger than a dozen bears, Wang's instincts scream danger. The banquet's true stakes are clear. Survival is the only reward that matters. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.